actually watch that show. All
I
right.
would watch it too.
Actually, good pitch.
Mr. Hurley.
CW, let's do it. All right.
You could be Mr. Furley.
Kids.
Well, speaking of continuations, they have been making like these comic, like sort of extra seasons through comic book form. Have you guys ever seen any of those, or have any thoughts on any of that?
Yeah, I look good.
Wrote two, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote a couple. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I did one where I wanted to write a story that was constrained by the same budget that we were on the show. This was on the other show. I wrote it for the other show's budgetary constraints. So I wasn't flying a spaceship. I didn't have like a crew of bugs helping me out. And I wanted to do one where Spike, because I think Spike is an underdog, so I wanted him to be not like Angel. It's like, how do you do a vampire with a soul without being Angel? And Angel's like an epic character. He's always in a mansion, the big roaring fire, sipping port wine, worrying about his soul. What should I do with it today? You know? So I thought Spike should, like, he can't kill anybody for a meal, and he can't steal anything for, like, say, a new pair of boots because his boots have fallen apart. So he should be homeless, and he should be starving to death because he can't figure out how to live without doing those things. And I wanted him to think that I wanted to have like a bad guy that he thought he could beat, like, oh, I could be the hero. I'll take that, sure. And it's like, so I wrote like this little, like a nanny pushing a pram monster, and she's stealing babies. He's like, oh, I'll take her. But he attacks the monster and it unfurls to 30 feet tall and just kicks his butt. And he tries to play the romantic. He finds a girlfriend, but he doesn't have the courage to tell her what he really is, which is a vampire. She finds out when she sees his ass get kicked in the fight. She dumps him flat, and he's just down on the ground. But he does find a way to get a new pair of boots without hurting anybody, and that's the win.
That is. That is the win.
Sorry, what did he say?
It was a long thing. It's never mind.
Alexis and I were just reflecting
Sorry,
on where our microphones were
chatting
placed in your
about
close-up.
how naughty our mics look.
Well, this show is so well known and so beloved. You have so many incredible fans out there. Do you have a fan encounter that you really remember, something that really stuck with you?
It was probably yesterday.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, we met so many truly wonderful people who had really intelligent and insightful and awesome reflections about the show. Who told us wonderful stories about how they found the show, what the show helped them get through in their own personal lives. So it always happens at events like this, but the people we met yesterday I thought were really special, and I just love meeting the people that are making
I think the
yesterday and Friday. Yeah.
Fans are funny, smart, and we don't take ourselves too seriously.
Yeah.
And it's a great combination for a good conversation. Like I've met someone who worked at the CERN Large Hadron Collider, dressed as a Wookiee. I met just physicists, doctors, like people with really interesting jobs, and they're all fanboys like me, and it's great.
It's also been fun since it's the 20th anniversary that so many people have passed this down to their children. So there's people now that we're meeting that are fans who were not alive when the show is even on, and that's really special just to see how I really love seeing the families who come up together and have it as a bond.
I love the moms who say, "This is Spike, honey," and the little kid goes,
How about for you? Do you have a fan encounter that really sticks out with you?
I mean, I just want to echo what's already been said, you know, that it's difficult sometimes, it's emotional, and it's a lot, you know, coming to these cons are so special, but it never ceases to amaze me how people are able to, like he said, analyze the show in such an intelligent way and articulate things that you kind of on a cursory level could acknowledge and see, but like would never be able to say or formulate on your own. And I always enjoy meeting the fans, and I always enjoy learning about their lives and how they came to find the show, and always so grateful that they pass it on to younger kids. and I had 100 different people come up, and I said, "You're not old enough to know the show. How did you find it, or who told you?" Because who was your Eskimo? You know, who was it? Your mom? Was it your dad? And then there's a nice story that goes along with, yeah, my mom and I. You know, I was a teenager and we didn't get along, but this is the only thing that we did connect with, or to each other with. But to single out any one particular experience would be nearly impossible. It's emotional. It's emotional for them, it's emotional for us, and never lost on us that it's been so long ago that we were on the air, and we didn't have social media kind of revive it, keep it alive. And, you know, again, I know we all feel this way, but like, just thank you so much.
Yeah. That's incredible. Let's just pretend in a perfect world each one of your characters had a happy ending. What would that happy ending look like for your characters?
Well, that's a physical and spiritual impossibility for Wesley. He is not. That's not in his DNA.
You can make up anything you want.
Well, and then he doesn't exist.
That's
So
what
I get
That's
to,
a happy ending.
I think it would be
I get to deflect that.
Buffy, 2 pillows, and Netflix.
Well, that was something I wanted to bring up too, because it's like we see so many movies and TV shows now trying to create a universe, and because Angel being a spinoff of Buffy, you kind of had that universe going. Was that an interesting experience, especially for some of you? You were characters that started out on Buffy and then ended up being on Angel. Like, how was it to have that character evolution as well as that world to play in?
I think it'd be fun to have had an affair with Fred. I'm in. I don't know. I mean, it just would have been great to live, and then if I didn't, I mean, the possibilities are endless. I mean, you tried to kill me so many times. Like, what if we had to be besties or something? You know, like walked around in robes and fuzzy, like whatever the opposite of our relationships were.
You would talk
would
about
always
it.
be interesting.
Yeah, like the way that people reminisce about high school.
Likelihood of that happening.
I guess to your question, I wonder if Charisma feels this way too. Having one of the characters that started out Buffy was feeling very much loathed by the community that were watching the show initially, and that was appropriate. But then being afforded the time in storytelling to change that kind of paradigm for the character and for how the people watching the show felt about it. So I guess that's kind of a interesting journey. Would you say that was?
1,000%.
I mean, 40 years.
1,000% too. I mean, I feel, and often people say to me how they feel Cordelia had such a huge growth, and probably the biggest growth of all the characters. But one of the biggest examples of a character growth is his character, Alexis's character, Wesley. Massive transformation. And that just speaks to the time that we were afforded and the gratitude we have by the people and the powers that be that gave us that ability to do that. But also it speaks to the talent of the writers being able to, and I'm not going to say I am necessarily, but you really transformed in terms of, you know, we had expressed this before, like being a awkward, bubbling, like, you know, accidentally prone type rogue demon hunter, to this smoldering, obviously
Sexy.
a mental giant,
Damn.
you know, person
Yeah, Chris,
that
we
can-
wanted to just watch this over and
over and over. No, I mean that's an example. And then obviously, you know, your character turned into Illyria, and then you turned into a lawyer. You were the antithesis of the street thug that once was, you know, one-dimensionally portrayed initially. Like, I feel like the talent behind the scenes is that, you know. I don't know how much you changed. We barely
I was
ever
thinking
worked
the same thing.
together.
You thought, like,
but you don't know.
Like people surprise you in life. You think you pigeonhole a person, and then you get to know them, and then they surprise you. So, like, Joss, as a storyteller, will bait the audience into judging a character a certain way, and he's manipulating the audience to do that, and then he'll flip it, and then judge the audience for ever pigeonholing the character, like, ha ha, you thought you knew, you don't know anything.
I feel like Buffy, or for Cordelia, that it was a slow burn. There were cracks, early on in the season, like when I have been told by you guys, and also because I don't get a chance to rewatch, or you don't when you're working on it. But like there were cracks and moments that indicated that there was more going on, but it really took time.
For me, it was just a total flip. Like,
Yeah.
you think he's a badass, no, he's a poet. He's just like, oh, I wrote a poem for you. I hope you like it. I was like, what?
Goes back a lot to what you were saying about why people still like the show too. I mean, I think that's something that Joss did and that a lot of genre shows do, is allow characters to have these. I mean, it's not like you're on a case of the week law show where you're the same character doing the same action, and it's such a gift as an actor to be able to, start as the ditzy cheerleader and become this amazing character, to start as a girl in a potato sack and become a demon goddess. I mean, that's just not something you get to do on every show, and I think that's what is celebrated at Comic-Con and makes it exciting to be part of genre and television, and why we all seem to gravitate towards that kind of stuff, I think both as viewers and as actors. Well said.
Yeah.
Come on, essay question.
Very true.
So of course we have Halloween coming up around the corner. So we're curious, what would your character dress up like for Halloween?
I don't know, but I just figured out what I want to be. I want to be Polly on Peaky Blinders. I saw a picture, I was like, oh, that's so dope. Now I just need a party to go to.
Here we go.
I think Illyria would dress up as Fred.
Thank you. Oh. Wow. I think Spike would dress as Billy Idol and no one would notice.
Maybe Harry Potter.
That's a good one.
I guess Gunn would definitely dress up as Daredevil because he makes that reference to the Daredevil comics. So he would be Daredevil.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
So we're gonna play a little game here that we like to call Snap Judgment. So how this works is I'm gonna ask you guys a question. We're gonna count to 3. I'm gonna snap, and then you just all say what your answer is at the same time, just to see if anyone matches up here.
Yeah.
All right. This could be
Everyone at the
dangerous.
same time.
All right. So the first one. Who in the cast was most likely to get caught napping on set?
3, 2, 1, David.
David.
Really? Who'd you say?
I didn't say anything.
Me.
I said me.
Okay, so we got a 3-way tie.
mixed answers.
A lot of sleeping on the set.
A lot of sleeping, a lot of naps.
We have long hours.
Fair enough.
Like, we did 22 episodes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm on a show now that does 10 and people say they're tired. I'm like, you don't even know what tired.
That's right. You don't know that WB schedule?
And by the way, sleeping on set is a good thing.
Yeah.
That's not a negative. Like, if you can sleep on set, do it.
Yeah.
Tom, that's
You need to.
Yeah, like someone asked Tom Hanks what the secret of film acting was. He says, lay down.
Yeah.
When they turn their back on you, even if it's for 5 seconds, lay down.
That's great.
Me, I just slept standing up.
Did you eyes open too?
Yeah, I operated like I was awake.
All right, one more. Who is most like their character?
3, 2, 1.
David.
Well, he's not even
I don't know,
finished.
you're kind of Brady.
Oh, thank you. I'll
That
take
didn't
it.
come out right.
You're Brady, you're sexy, like you did everything. You did all the
This has been
compliments.
good for me today, yeah.
I'm such an American. I'm just watching television. I'm sorry, guys. I'm like, these guys are beautiful.
It's like they should have a show right now. They should have another show right now, right? Well, thank you all so much for being here. This has been amazing. I'm sure you all have been appreciative of this. Like, just thank you for your time and being here. One more time, the cast of Angel. Right here on the Sci-Fi Wire stage. That's right, you never know what to expect here at Sci-Fi Wire, so make sure you keep tuned to our coverage of New York Comic Con 2019. Coming up next, we got the new Blade Runner Expanded Universe, so stay tuned for that here on Sci-Fi Wire.